Jet lag with kids. How we survive the 12-hour time difference. We've recently got back from a trip to the UK, flying from Auckland to London, and we flew with our 4 and 5-year-old. And jet lag is part of it. If you're coming to visit New Zealand and you've got a big time difference, or you're leaving New Zealand to some other country, you'll find jet lag is a challenge. Now, 12 hours is quite a bit of a time difference. I've done this quite a few times with and without kids. So in this video, I want to talk to you about how you can prepare, what to expect, and how to cope when your child is wide awake at 3 a.m. asking for snacks. So let's be realistic. Reset your expectations. It is part of travel. And when you've got 12 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, they make a difference for meal times, the times you fall asleep, the times that you're awake. Now, research into this one says that for every 1 hour, it's going to take you 1 day to fully reset. Now that's 12 days. I didn't really have that challenge. I would say 3, 4, maybe 5 days before we felt human. 12 days is probably most of your holiday. That's what the research says, but I'm giving you good news that actually it's probably a lot less than that. Also, manage the expectations of your children. Talk about it. Let them know that they might feel tired and hungry at unusual times, but it's also not a problem. Just go with the flow. How to prepare. I've heard all sorts of things like get lots and lots of sleep before you go, or move to the time zone before you leave. Just what's the point? You end up being exhausted. As it is, you've got that really long flight to do. I've logged that flight in this video so you can see how long it really was. Just keep routines normal. Be well rested before your flight if you can, but the best thing you can do is to have a survival kit. So the big thing that we did was pack familiar snacks. We bought the snacks from New Zealand that our kids are used to, as a lot of the food on the plane, and also when we got there they weren't happy with some of the food. They looked different, they tasted different. They're 4 and 5 and this really helped. Also, water bottles, making sure you've got them for the plane and for at night time when you arrive at your accommodation. The usual comfy clothes, PJs, and also have a think about quiet activities that you might need in those nighttime wake-ups. So when you get on the plane, just go with it, go with the flow, encourage the sleep. A lot of the time, the plane decides when you're going to sleep, so the lights dim, the food is served, and this is when you are hungry. And often, you're not. Don't panic. If the kids don't eat it, you've got snacks as backup, and they will provide many opportunities to eat. You can also call an attendant for certain snacks. At one point, we went to the back of the plane and we had a look at their selection so the kids could choose and they felt more control over what they were eating. If your child sleeps for 6 hours on the plane, doesn't matter. And another good tip for being on the plane is drink water. Jet lag is worse when you're dehydrated. Generally, everything's worse when you're dehydrated. So keep drinking, keep encouraging the kids to drink, have their favourite water bottle, encourage rehydration. So, landing day, this is key. The day that you arrive at your destination, get outside. We actually arrived in the middle of winter, and I remember thinking it's 4 p.m. and it's already dark. So that made it a lot harder to transition when we'd come from the middle of summer. I remember when I flew to the UK in the summer, it was easier because you had till 9 p.m. of daylight and your body could adjust quicker. But get outside, get into as much daylight as you can, encourage your body clock to get normal. On your first couple of nights, try for a local bedtime. Do your best to go to bed at a time when you normally would. So if the kids go to bed at 7 p.m, start the bedtime routine. It might be chaos. But I also tend to find the opposite challenge. They fall asleep before their bedtime. I'm guilty of this as well. And for quite a few nights, I went to bed at the same time as the kids. We were going to bed at 5 p.m, 6 p.m. Slowly push it out as much as you can to the normal bedtime. But also expect that they're probably going to be awake a few hours later. Midnight snacking and nighttime waking. So they've gone to bed at 5, 6, 7 p.m. and a few hours later, we're all awake. We're awake and we're hungry. It is part of it. I tried to enjoy this as the first few nights of my holiday and make a bit of fun out of it. You've brought those snacks or pre-decide what snacks they're going to have for their lunchtime, midnight snacking. Keep the lights low, keep voices calm. Now, if you're staying in a hotel, you do need to make sure you're pre-prepared with the food or other accommodation. If you're staying with family, maybe give a warning to that family that you might be up in the night, you might be downstairs. We tend to go off to the kitchen or the family room so we can get away from the bedroom so we don't disturb other people. Avoid screens, and I do make it fun, but it's not run around screaming type fun because you're trying to be considerate and you also want them to go back to sleep. We've accepted sometimes that if it's 4 a.m, we've ended up being awake for the whole time. it's just going to be a bit different. Hi, I'm Emily and I run Emily in NZ, posting every Friday about living, working and exploring the beautiful country that is New Zealand. Hit subscribe because I update every Friday. Daytime survival. Now you're planning your trip. Maybe you're coming here to New Zealand. Try not to plan those big things in those first few days. Short outings, not too much driving because you'll end up with kids napping in the back. Do things that involve getting outside and be flexible with your planning. Also, evening planning is quite hard because you're going to have those early bedtimes. So events that you want to do in the evening, push them towards the end of your trip. Be kind to yourself. You're on holiday, but jet lag is a major part. If you're coming to this beautiful country, it can be hard adjusting in a new country to a new time zone. Don't overdo it. Don't overplan. Rest when you can, because this will be much easier for you as a parent to support the children through the jet lag. Jet lag with kids is hard, but it is temporary. And as I say, 3 to 4 days. It's harder if you're going into winter because it's darker. And some people say it depends which way around the world you go. I don't know. We often fly through America, as you saw in that video, but we've not really had much difference when we've gone through Asia. So if you're planning a long haul flight with your children, I hope you found this useful. And if you're coming here to visit New Zealand, please check out some of my other videos when you're planning your trip. If you've got any questions, drop them in the comments. I post every Friday, and in the meantime, check out one of these videos. I'll see you in my next video.